Okay, good morning. What we're going to be working on today is showing you how to create a basic Inventor Assembly model. I've created a bunch of different parts, basically called a slider crank assembly. And I'm going to start with, I have one of the parts open. I always think it's a good idea to start with maybe one part open just to kind of show you where it's located, and also to allow the computer to see very quickly where to actually download the files from. So to create a new assembly, you're going to go to File in Inventor, and you're going to create a new assembly, uh, new assembly model. Okay, and I've already gotten mine started. And the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to place our first component. So I'm going to go ahead and place from my files. I'm going to use my base as my starting point. I'm going to click, and as soon as I click on that, it's going to load it in place. Now it's going to look like it wants to place a second one, so all you really need to do is hit the escape button to get out of that. If you want to rotate your part, you just hold down your shift key and turn it like you turn a like you turn an Inventor part. Now the very first thing that we can do, or we need to do, is we need to lock this down. The very first part that we put in our assembly should always be grounded. So in order to do that, you can see if I highlight over that it says under constrained. To ground it, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go down to grounded, and that's going to basically lock it in place. You can see it puts a push pin on it, and now I can fully see the part. Okay, so this part is going to be locked down. My next step is going to be to place my second component, and I'm going to go into my file directory, and I'm going to use my crank. It's going to be my second part I'm going to place it here. Hit escape to get out of the place, and you'll see that's not really in the correct orientation that I want. So if I want to change the orientation of this, all I really need to do is go up to my free rotate, click on the part, and you can see it'll let me rotate the component to however I want to put it. Okay, so I just turned it a little bit. I just wanted to show you how that works. So it's easy to use. Now to turn that off, all I need to do is just to click in the background of the assembly. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain this part. And I have a choice between constraints and joints. I like to use a combination of both. My first one I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a mate constraint. If you put your mouse button over top of all these buttons, this will basically tell you where all the constraints are. Okay, I'm going to use the mate constraint for the first one. And I'm going to mate this surface here, or the bottom of the crank, to this surface, the top of the slider, and I'm going to say OK. All right. Now if I rotate this around a little bit, you can see that I'm free to rotate this anywhere that I want on top of that base. So now I need to lock it down to where I want it to go. For my next case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a joint constraint. I'm going to go, and the way you choose this one is you hit the down arrow, and I'm going to choose a cylindrical. I'm going to go ahead and choose the axis of this hole, and I'm going to apply that to the axis of this boss. Okay, and then I'm going to say OK, and it's going to place it right where I need to go. Now if you take a look at this, I can actually rotate this where I want it to go, and it's exactly how I want to leave it. I don't want to apply any more constraints because I do want that to be able to rotate. So I'm going to go ahead, okay, I'm going to go ahead and place my next component, which is going to be my slider. I'm going to place that here, hit escape. I'm going to use my free rotate just to rotate this around so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, you can see it's got a little pin on there. I'm going to apply my first constraint to this part. Again, I'm going to use a mate. I'm going to put the bottom of this slider on the top of the base again. Say OK. And you can see I can freely move it around and rotate it. Okay, I'm going to apply another constraint on this, another mate. Just going to be this surface. To that surface there, and say OK. Now when I zoom out, you can see that I can just move this back and forth along that slot, which is what I want. Okay. My next component that I'm going to load is going to be my connecting rod. Okay, and hit escape to get out of that. Now this is definitely not in the orientation that I want, but that's okay. This face and this face are both at the same location, so I'm going to do another constraint here. My mate constraint. I'm going to choose one of the surfaces of the connecting rod, one of the big flat surfaces of the connecting rod. So I'll zoom in that way I can select that correctly. And I'm going to just choose the top of the base here, or the top of the slider, and say OK. All right. Now I can basically move that back and forth, but what I want to do is get that in the and side to side. I want to get this in the correct orientation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply another cylindrical joint. I'm going to start with this hole. Zoom in to make sure I select it correctly. And I'm going to put that hole at the center of this boss here. Say OK. And it's one location that's correct. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to apply another joint, another cylindrical. I'm going to go to the other hole. And I'm going to apply that to this boss here. And say OK. And now it's basically placed everything here. Now if I zoom out of this, you can see that as I rotate this crank, all my parts are moving effectively, which is exactly what I want. Okay. Now the next thing I need to do is all my parts are there except for my 3 retaining rings. If I were to actually put this together as it is, if I had the actual parts, it would still work. However, I would be able to slide everything on and off. So what I need to do next is I need to load a couple of retaining rings. Now from that, we're going to use standard parts. I'm going to go place from content center. And these are just standard parts that I don't have to worry about. I can just leave those there. Content center, you have to know what you're looking for. So this can get really confusing. You can get fasteners. You can get other different parts. If I click the little down arrow for fasteners, nuts, bolts, pins, rivets. But what I want is I want shaft parts. Okay. And then from the shaft parts, I want circular clips. I want an external part here. And I definitely want to make sure that I choose the correct retaining rings. Okay. Now you can see that there's a tiny little pictures here. You can actually change that so it makes it a little bit bigger. Okay, table view. Or you can do the list view. You can do it however you like. But we're going to go ahead and you need to know what you're looking for, so you might have to dig down a little bit. We're going to choose this first one. Okay, except that's not the one that I want. So I'm going to escape out of that. And go ahead and I hit this button here to give me my table down below. That way, that's the one I have selected up here. Now I can choose the one that's the correct size. So I need to find the correct one. And I've already done a little bit of research ahead of time. So for the first one, I'm going to use the larger one. I want to use the one with the 15 diameter shaft. So that one is going to be here. So I'm going to click on that one and say OK. And I'm just going to insert it here. That I had the wrong one loaded, so I went ahead and fixed that. So I've got this here. Okay, this is the correct one. I have to apply a couple of constraints to this one as well. So I want to go ahead and put the mate constraint because I want to make sure that it's oriented correctly according to my assembly. Right now it's not. So I can use my free rotate or I can just zoom in. I want to make sure that this plane is on the same plane as my slot here, this face. I'm going to say OK. And then I want to also put a cylindrical joint here of this circle, or excuse me, no, cancel. I want to make sure I choose the correct one, cylindrical. That's the one. I need to make sure that the center's highlighted. And then zoom out and make sure that I select the correct one here. That's there to the center of that shaft or that boss, and say OK. And I zoom out and there it is. Okay, and you can see once I click on it, I can rotate that around, which is what's going to happen to it if I actually put it in there. All right, now I've got two more that I need to locate, or two more retaining rings that I need to add. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place from content center again. And since I'm already on that page, the 27.7M, which is what I want, then I need to go to a smaller one. And I want to go to the 10 millimeter one. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to that one. I'm going to choose that, say OK. I'm going to place that. I'm going to place it again because I do need two of them. Okay, so they're both there because I need one for this side, securing that side of the connecting rod, and one to secure that side of the connecting rod. Okay, so I'm going to look at this one first. I'm going to apply a constraint, a mate constraint between this face and the top face of this cylinder. Okay, we'll say OK. Now you can see that it's there where I need it to be, but I've got to apply my joint, my cylindrical, between the center here and the center there. And then I'll say OK, it's in place. If I zoom out, I can rotate that around. I'm going to click out here. I can move that around there. Okay. And then I'm going to apply the same constraints to this one here as well. For the other side of the connecting rod, I'm going to zoom in so I can select it a little bit easier. And that's going to be on this face. And then I'm going to apply my same cylindrical joint here to the center there. I'm going to say OK, and there we go. Now if I zoom out, I've got all my parts here, and I'm going to hit the home key, that way I can go back to my correct orientation. And you can see that I'm done. And I basically move my crank here. As I rotate my crank, all my other components are moving in place. So this is exactly what I wanted. So I hope you had fun making that with me. You should have all the components, and I want you to give this one a try.